everyone, and welcome back to Marble Half in the post-battle cleanup phase. Still, it's gonna be a little while, if for no other reason than the fact we simply don't have enough storage space for everything that we're trying to haul in. A lot of things have been set up with a priority haul, so this is going to disrupt the regular functioning of the base for a couple of days, and Leza here has immediately decided to have a tantrum, which is not great. I will be honest, that would have been much better. On the plus side, they were very far away, so it's going to take them a while to get back up there, so I might be able to get a little bit of work done. But as we can see, the corpses are being carted out, and once all of the corpses are out of the way and our colonists are not having to see them anymore, then that should go a small way to helping things along. Now, as for our colonists, well, they're all in various states of not very happy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to swap over our peeps back into their civvies. Let's go all the way through. Now, Rizel is obviously going to need the Oath Druid setup. I don't really care for making sure that Rizel has their Oath Druid gear whilst in combat. It's more important to me that they survive the combat than are happy whilst they're going through the combat. But the reason why we've got a separate Mechanitor combat gear for Periapsis is because if they take off certain Mechanitor items, then all of a sudden we can't control all the mechs, which is, as you can imagine, quite a dire situation. Now, let's pause that one right there. We're actually coming upon a bit of a food crisis over here. We've got plenty of eggs out and about, but it looks like everyone's going to be on the nutrient pace for a little bit. So I'm thinking if anyone is in a good state, actually I should probably have done this before I told them to unequip their combat gear, but perhaps we will be able to make this happen. Do you drop Manu? Are you? Well, no, not Manu. But do you drop Aquatami and let's say Vanya? We could possibly even pull out Rizel. I'm going to have you three drafted. We're just going to get down here. We're going to have to go and kill some mega sloths, I think. If we look at the wildlife, there is a bear as well that we could go for. But other than that, it is mostly spelpedes and mega spiders. And I'm not interested in tangling them. Not today, at the very least. You are in a bad place over there. Now, I am very much hopeful that someone is going to come along and annoy the insects in the short term, not the long term, because the longer this lasts, the more damage they're going to do to everything down there, which, as you can imagine, is probably something we want to avoid, right? There we go, well done. I want that to now be hunted. If you could prioritize... Well, actually, do we want to go for the other Mega Sloth first? Where is the other Mega Sloth? It's quite far away, actually. Mind you, it's over there by the bear as well. Alright, could you... or someone nearby. Have I got anyone? Anyone close by who'd be able to do this job? Manu wouldn't be able to do it. I guess Rizel could. Go and prioritize hunting the Mega Sloth, please. You'll be able to finish it. And I'm going to take our soldiers up here to take care of the other one. We need the food, so let's get that one on the go. But the other thing that I'm very, very much eager to do is as soon as I have this area complete to the point that I can seal it off, is rejigging our defenses. And actually, one of the things that I've been thinking about doing for a little bit now, actually, is specifically rejigging it over here as well. So let me pencil this in quickly, and then I will bring you back and discuss my plans. Okay, I think this will do. Now, this is going to require a bit of a change to this growing area here, but we're about to radically expand our growing potential, so that's not as much of an issue. But as you can probably tell, we are going for a new turret setup, and I've made the point this time of sinking the turret a little bit further back, the embrasures, so that the turrets will have a very wide range of fire, but won't be able to shoot at each other as easily, which is exactly what these two can do, which is not great. But I'm also taking some advice from the comments and making sure that the embrasures are 2 tiles apart, which allows people to stand on either side of each embrasure, which is going to maximize our firing potential. We've seen a lot of enemies deciding to come up here, and just a couple of fighters here in 2 turrets will easily be able to manage the vast majority of attackers. Now, that is going to probably necessitate a bit of a change in the defensive area over here, but I think that should be fine. We'll eventually get that done. Now, my plan is to also remove this section of this greenhouse and instead build this out all the way along. And we may, in fact, go ahead and change this up, or I could perhaps keep part of this. I'm not entirely certain yet, but I'm strongly suspecting that we're just going to run a path through here and have doors there. So, because right now, if someone wants to get over on this side, they'd have to go all the way up and around, and that doesn't make for a very fluid defensive system, really. So I think putting a steel door here, at least, is one of the first steps, and honestly, I think just making this look a little bit better over here, fortifying this area would be great, which does necessitate that I shrink this zone. However, we have only just harvested this area, so now is the best time to do that, I would say. Let's go ahead and grab the floors. We want slate flagstone all along there, and in fact, we probably want flagstone all the way through here if we can possibly manage to do it. And then we're going to want some fences outside here. Again, this is here to prevent enemies from simply stacking up right next to the embrasures and thus getting the same sort of benefit from our defenses as we are from the other side of them. We want them to have to fight through. But that should radically change any battles that happen here, especially if we are dealing with bugs, which like to congregate in the soup down here. And eventually, once we've realized the project of building out our defensive wall, then this becomes a very convincing killing floor where our enemies are going to have to wade through the water under cover of a hail of bullets. But let's get back to getting our peeps up top here and hopefully taking on this Mega Sloth. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the idea of this. Now, of course, it's going to require a lot more stone, so I am going to need to add in a couple more dig orders. Let's continue with the branch mining that we've had going so far. Probably link that up. Ooh, warg hunting Vanya lost one. Let's have a look at you. Let's not allow that happen. Vanya, back. Actually, Vanya, immediately engage. Them. Please. Thank you. Ooh, Vanya did get hurt there. What happened? Left arm, pretty nasty bite. The warg is basically dead. Okay, Vanya, you need to retreat. Actually, you weren't even drafted. What were you coming up here for? Okay, well, of the people here, we've got actually, Aquatami is one of our doctors. Aquatami should be able to tend to Vanya Loswin. So, Vanya, let's head you down. Sorry, draft. Head you down there. Aquatami, move up. Let's get them treated immediately, please. With medicine. Go ahead. That is the benefit of having a doctor on standby right next to you. Sorry, Wag. You know what? Let's not just let them die like this. It's a horrible thing to do. Finish off the Wag, please, if you could. There we go. And there we are. Well done. All right, Vanya, how are you doing? That was a pretty nasty wound. It has been tended, though. I would like you everyone to stick together, though. Let's not head back just yet. We've got a lot of other things to kill and not a lot of time to do it. Hopefully someone will be out here soon in order to pick that up and get a little bit more work done. Bed assigned to Dewdrop has been destroyed. Well, that is just awful, frankly. Are you out of that rage mode yet? Or are you still... No, you are finally out of it. Okay, so you've come out of the other side. You're finally in a bit of a better way. That room looks absolutely atrocious. Eelstar's probably had the worst night's sleep ever. Well, actually, considering what's been going on at the colony, that probably doesn't even ding on the top 10 worst nights so far. But nevertheless, not a great time, certainly. Can we get a couple of shots over there? Let's bring it in close. There we go, and everyone's finishing it off. Could you go and deal with that? Finish it off for me, Aquatami. Vanya and Dewdrop. We want to deal with the bear. Now, the bear is in a pretty tight space, which is not the best at all. Nevertheless, we need to do it. Let's get in there. The warg should be hauled as a priority, as should the Mega Sloth. Let's get everything back. Now, I am really starting to urgently want to switch over to the transhumanist meme so that people will enjoy, well, not enjoy, they just won't hate having nutrient-paced meals. But that is, again, still something that we really do want to have a good source of steel to do, really. Oh, this is awful. It's just moving deeper and deeper into the cave system. It knows what we're doing. It's luring us into a trap. Clever bear. Can we take that shot? No, of course we can't. Right, we're going to have to do a very good job of this. Very close range. There we go. And it is over with. Right, okay. Everyone is undrafted. Could you prioritize hunting? Yeah, you can head back. Aquatari, perhaps you could haul the Mega Sloth? Yep, yes you can. Right, Dewdrop, you're good to go. What are you up to? Removing the steel plate armor. Actually, that's quite a clever move. Take that off first, and then head on down. Okay, yeah, that's pretty solid, actually. Pretty solid indeed. Now, as for the meat, we've got enough meat. All we need is the hay grass, and we'll have kibble for, well, the next couple of years, practically. But as for food for our colonists, that's in far, far shorter supply. So it's definitely something that we need to work on. The defense is here. Well, honestly, I'm starting to think that I want the doorway to go this way and then in. And I could perhaps even leave that open just to attract enemies in through this way. Certainly something that we can look at doing. We've got a bunch of food coming through. This is actually fantastic. Encrypt, hauling in the warg. Very well done, Encrypt. And we're also still bringing in all the odds and sods from the battle down here. A lot of this is going to be very badly damaged. But by the time that it gets down there, that's just the way it goes. But it looks like we've actually cleared up the lion's share of the corpses. Our mechs are doing a very, very good bit of work with that. Very good bit of work indeed. Very happy with that one, actually. I am somewhat tempted to place down a bit of concrete in here just to prevent trees growing there, but I think we should be okay for the time being. Anyway, let's head in on the monolith. It's only at activity level 14%. We're going okay. As far as things go, I know I shouldn't have said that. We're probably doomed now, but here we are. Hungry pen animals. Hopefully, now that a lot of the work has been done, though, again, with the priority 2 on basic haul, it is a little bit of an issue, but we've at least got Vanya, who is a high priority cook. They should get to handling the butchery and the production of kibble soon-ish. We'll see. Anyway, it is the 8th of April, May 5503, the 13th hour, and I shall bring you back when there is more to report. Okay, look, I'm as the series is progressing, I am skipping over, relatively trivial social interactions, but this one I had to bring you back for. Periapsis flirted with Lazahir by telling a tale about sweating. Lazahir became aroused and agreed to become Periapsis' lover. Okay, so the conversation that sparked it, that's funny for its own reasons. However, Rizel and Lazahir were just getting over, in fact, they had just gotten over the fact that they had been miserable for the last, month because Periapsis dumped one of them, dumped Lazahir and inherited Lazahir's misery as a consequence, and as soon as that passed, he got with Lazahir. I mean, you can joke as you want about Periapsis having a type. However, how is this going to affect the drama in the colony? Poor Rizel got dumped by someone, cloned by an eldritch monolith, and then the person that dumped you got with your clone. I'm not even sure how you would begin processing the blow to your ego that would be. That is nuclear damage. My God. Poor Rizel. Congratulations to Lazahir, though. Well done. You won. And welcome back. It is the 11th of April, May, the 5th hour, and we are starting work on 2 new high-quality bedrooms over here. It's going to take a little bit of time to do it, but it shouldn't be that long. To be fair, we just need to get the marble in place, and we have quite a lot of marble blocks. We've got a lot of slate blocks too. It's just that work isn't being done yet, and I don't want to micromanage our people too much. They already got a lot of work to do, priority hauling up all the goodies from down here. But as you can see, the vast majority of the corpses, in fact, all of the corpses, are now gone, I believe. So that's one big help, if nothing else. I've had to expand out the toxic dump down here because obviously this one over here is a bit of a problem, and we do not want anything more to be sent over yon. In fact, you know what? Let's just disable this zone completely. Let's delete the zone. I'm just going to let the insects have that area. Now, speaking about the insects having that area, I have noticed that our prisoners are in a relatively good state of affairs. I moved the prison furniture around a little bit. That shouldn't cause too much of a problem, but hopefully once they see this, they'll head on up and use this room as well. Let me just make sure that that's okay. This should be a normal door. This one is an exclusive door. Yeah, this one should allow our prisoners to go through into that room as well. Now, what I would very much like to see done is for us to have a... Oh, actually, let's have a look at these. Yeah, these are prisoner doors. I believe that one is also a prisoner door, whereas this one is a regular door for us. Yeah, that should be fine. So this is a side door. This is a normal door. Oh, perhaps I was meant to have a prison table in here. Maybe I'll have to pop that back. Nevertheless, I've decided to move things around. I'm getting distracted by the intricacies of trying to manage a prison complex rather than a prison cell, as is the case down here. But if we have a quick gander at our prisoners, they do in fact seem to be in a relatively good state of affairs. So I am thinking it is time to maybe get a few things moved out. In fact, I am going to just go ahead and pop this back down. Yeah, I've got to make it a prison commons, so I do need 2 of these tables, but I only need this one table to be here. I don't want too many more than that. But what I do very much want is if we go ahead and place down 2 wooden shelves, one there, one there. They can carry out the material up here to make this into a prison commons over there. Yeah, there we are. It is a prison common as well. That's good, good, good. This one will be a prison common, so they'll be able to move through here. I want one for t-shirts or button-down shirts, one for pants. That way our prisoners can re-equip themselves, and I think that would be very, very good. But we've got at least 2 prisoners that are ready to be released. However, I have less than 0% confidence that they won't immediately just walk out past the insect. I mean, it's basically a coin flip. Which direction are they going to try and exit the map by? And I don't want it to be a coin flip. Well, a 3-sided coin, just, you know, it's spacey, wacy, twisty, turning coin. We are instead going to go ahead and build out... can I just grab a regular wood wall? Yeah, there we are. I'm going to build a wall. I don't want anyone to try and leave through that direction, so I'm simply going to make it impossible to do so. That should fix the problem. We've struck compacted machinery. Oh, marvelous. I'm very happy with that. Right, so once that's done, I'm going to be releasing our prisoners, and that should give us a wallop of goodwill with one of our enemies, one of the more rough tribes. Nothing that we really need to worry about too much, but definitely something that would be nice to have. Now, we will set up the rest of these rooms more or less in exactly the same way as the other ones are. Who they go to, don't know yet. We will have to see. But my instinct is to give one to Manu and one to Dewdrop. Manu because they are such an important person in the colony at this point, and Dewdrop is a long-standing person. Normally it would go by seniority, but we definitely need to try and keep Manu's happiness up. Andrea may also be another one to work on as well, considering we do actually have a quest to keep them happy specifically, so it's certainly something we can have a look at. Now, have we finished the wall? We have indeed finished the wall. That is fantastic. How are you looking? Malnutrition, trivial, bad back. Well, let's hope that you can get off the map, shall we? Let's release you there. And Theo, likewise there. Let's release you. You should be in a good place there. Yeah, this is prison comms now, not a gathering spot, please and thank you. Is this one a gathering spot? No, good. Right, there we go. This is all now correctly set up, and someone will be along once they're done taking a nap to let you out. While all of that's going on though, let's make sure that we've expanded this out to be part of the home section, and further expanded out to make sure that we're actually cleaning it as well. That would be marvelous. Now, what I would very much like to see happening is some more bricks being made, because we're a little bit shy on those for the here and now. How are we doing with the research? We are very close to learning Bioferrite extraction. That will be a big step forward. In fact, that might be it right now. Come on, Periapsis. We only need a tiny little bit. There we go. Bioferrite extraction. Extract bioferrite directly from captured entities. Use it to craft weapons and apparel at a crafting spot or a bioferrite shaper. While the immediate thing we want to do next is because Bioferrite extraction, it will allow us to make the ritual mask, the nerve spiker weapon, the ceremonial hood. All of these are pretty... Ooh, what just happened there? Let's pause that there. A roof collapse. Let's have a look. Oh, it dropped on them. Relations also just improved, but I was too focused on other things. Let's have a quick gander. Does it not show messages? Thank you. There we are. They're from -88 to -76. So our Prickle managed to get off the map. Theo is not far behind. Okay, not too bad. We're going to be pulling this up fairly aggressively. I wouldn't be too surprised if it's sub -50. Or rather above -50 by the time we release Poilap. Let's have a look at your health. It's going to take a little bit of time, but you should be okay. You've got no missing extremities, so that should be solid. But that wall drop did cause a little bit of problems. I'll leave that wall there for now, so that Theo can leave off the map in the correct direction. That should all be well and good. And only the very last little bits and bobs being hauled in now. And finally, our people will stop having to worry so much about this extra work that we've got to do. Really, am I bringing in a cloth face mat? No, we are not doing that, actually. The cloth frag suit, on the other hand, that I agree with bringing in, but we probably still will just sell it. It's not really that high of a priority. Now, as far as Bioferrite extraction, what do we want to research next? Now, we've got the extraction, but I'm thinking the harvesting would be good. Build Bioferrite harvesters that automatically extract the Bioferrite from captured entities. This produces more Bioferrite than manual extraction. I think that would be the way to go. Sure, we'll go with Bioferrite harvester. But whilst we're here, let's have a look at you. Study interval every 2 days, escape interval every 1.4 years. I would like to extract the Bioferrite. Doctors will extract Bioferrite from the captured entity whenever possible. This extraction method is simple but inefficient. Can't be done if the entity is attached to a Bioferrite harvester. That makes sense. Also, I don't want to use medicine, just doctor care. If you are wounded, we do want to try and fix you up. What? That is not a good place to put things. My goodness. Clear all. Never take your eyes off buildings, shelves, because otherwise, you know they're going to decide to put the worst possible thing there. Button-down shirts, please and thank you. There we are. That will make sure that these folks have everything they need. We'll delete that zone. But this should mean that our prisoners will be able to clothe themselves. And finally, we're getting the bricks done. Okay, that's kind of cute. Oh, did that hurt? I'm sorry. Now, let's have a quick gander at the Bioferrite. An exotic metal-like fibrous substance with both organic and metallic properties. Bioferrite is produced by microscopic mechanites as they process organic material. In cases of disordered mechanite behavior, this happens in a chaotic, cancer-like way. The material is known to interact with some types of psychic flows. If pressurized under specific conditions, Bioferrite becomes extremely flammable, making it a useful fuel. Now, the interesting thing with Bioferrite is that particular flammable quality. If we have a look at structures. Now, with the mods that we've got, steel does not burn. It doesn't just catch on fire. Obviously, steel can combust into certain types of situations, but realistically, you can't just like set a fire to a tree and it's going to catch a steel wall on fire. That's not how steel works. So, with the mod, the flammability is 0% on steel. But what about Bioferrite? 75. Now that I think is good. I was a little bit concerned that it would have nixed the Bioferrite flammability, but there is an in-law reason why this is flammable. It's part organic and it's fibrous, so it's like rock wool, just eldritch, crawly rock wool that seems to whisper at you. However, one thing I will say is that hit points. Ooh, that is very high. What are the hit points on granite? It's got more hit points than granite. That is very impressive. But it is extremely flammable. So not great for an external defense. Sadly, that would have been great if it were, but it is not. More's the pity, really. Poilap, how are you doing in there? Gunshot wound to the jaw. You're still resting. I think we could probably let you go, though. We could let you fully heal, actually. Yeah, we'll let you fully heal before we release you, but I think that should be fine for now. Did I disable everything else, though? Let me just double check. I did. Though I do not want any tainted apparel, and I want to make sure the quality isn't ratty, because that would make folks a little bit unhappy. So 55% seems fine. We'll copy these settings. Actually, no, we won't, because it would overwrite the other ones. So 55 again, but no tainted. We want to try and make sure they don't have ratty apparel issues, I think. Oh, there's a party. Let's see. Dewdrop is throwing a party. Everyone who goes will gain recreation and social energy and a positive, lasting mood boost. Fantastic. Well done with that initiative there, Dewdrop. Very much approve. Now, we've got a lot of more work to do. I will be releasing our prisoner as soon as it is safe to do so. Are there any other animals on the map that well, there's a new grizzly bear, I suppose. Might go and grab that grizzly, because we are once again at a grizzly situation regarding our food. Something I would like to change, but probably not going to be changing in the near future. The other thing I would very much like to do is I would like to set up a bank of, or rather a room for our neural superchargers and bioshapers and all sorts of other things, because I would very much like to upgrade our ideologian with the transhumanist meme. We will see how that goes, but for now, work continues apace. And welcome back. As you can see, it is a bit of a hive of activity down here as we are rebuilding the defensive fortifications at the front of our base. We have some rare Thrumbos on the map, quite a few of them actually. And as tempted as I am to gather up those gorgeous gubbins that they have, so namely the ivory in their horn and the amazing fur, there is absolutely 0% chance that we would be able to do that and get out of it unscathed. I would much prefer us having a relatively safer survival than having all Thrumbo bits. However, we do now have Poilap is in a good state of health. Manipulation is slightly reduced, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. That is a cause of their genetics. They've got trotters for hands. We are going to go ahead and release them, and hopefully this is going to bring our factions a little tiny bit closer together. And as you can see up here at the very top, we have a lot of work going on and setting up some new bedrooms. At this point, Dewdrop, you know what, Dewdrop, as much as I want to give it to Manon, no, it's going to be Dewdrop and Eelstar. It is high time that we reward the loyalty and the long-standing service of our colony members. And honestly, since Eelstar is doing the lion's share of all of the construction anyway, it would be a particular slap in the face to be like, yeah, no, you know those beautiful rooms you helped build? Yeah, you're not getting one of them. They're going to someone else. No, that wouldn't work. Always take care of your soldiers and always take care of your craftspeople, without whom nothing else you building your civilization would have any slight chance of functioning properly. If function, it could at all. So no, we're going to make sure we're going to earmark one of these for Eelstar, the other for Dewdrop. We're getting a little bit closer. I think it made sense for Periapsis as the leader and Rizel as the Oath Druid to get the first rooms, but other than that, it's going to go in order or dire need. For example, if one of them was especially low mood, then maybe we could do something to try and lift that up a little bit. But for now, no. Right, let's remove that wall now that we've got the little area all set up correctly there. If we have a look at our power setup, what I want down here is for power to run all the way along there and then down a little bit in each room. And on this side, we're actually going to remove the power conduits here, as I do not want power to leak in here without my oh, actually, wait a second. Let's have a look at this. You know what? We can do this in another way. Never mind. What I'm going to say then is that if I turn any turret on, I want all of the turrets to be on. We're not going to have particular control over that. It's going to be an all or nothing kind of system. And given that, then, if we have a look at what we've already got, then I don't even need to run the power in that way. I can run it down along that side instead of having this ugly little loop that seems completely superfluous. There we go. This switch will control all of our turrets, though I will need to remove the connection right here. I'm going to need to take that out. Going to need to take all of this out as well. as removing more or less all of the power down here. And that way everything will flow from that one switch. I'm going to leave the current turrets that we've got activated, though I don't want to mess around with that just yet. That seems very, very premature. I would love it if we could get the front area here all set up, but it looks like it's going to take us a little bit of time. Now, is our prisoner walking off the map? Yes. A Poilap is almost ready to leave. Now, honestly, maybe the turrets would be able to take these out. But if we have a look at Thrumbos, they are so fantastically tanky. Their armor is equivalent to, like, centipedes. Not quite as good as centipedes, but it's up there. We would need an awful lot of firepower. We don't have some sort of special attack mechanism like we do against the mechs, where we can use EMP to really mess with them. This would just be brute force, and I don't think we're in a position where we can really make that happen. Right, they have exited. Oh, we aren't quite where I'd hoped. We're at minus 52. Oh well, I was hoping that it would be better than 50. But I guess we just have to wait for them to raid me again so I can patch up the survivors and send them home. The things we do for diplomacy, eh? As far as things down here, we're working on a couple of sculptures, it seems. Let's have a look. That looks like an interesting one. Marble small sculpture, it's normal, by Rizel. Let's have a look at the art here. Curve with Manu. Ooh. The sculpture bit is an artwork of a monstrous monolith surrounded by molten debris. Dozens of figures prepare tools and equipment. The subjects are in front of 9 stars. Very foreboding. The work symbolizes injury. This depiction relates to a meteorite impacting near Manu's hamlet on the 6th of September. Well, I mean, it is artwork, so this artwork gets installed. It gets installed here in the ritual room, the manse. Now, how are we going down? We're actually making fairly good progress as it happens. This shouldn't take too much longer to be done. Is there anything much that we would like to do? We could do a conversion ritual, I suppose. If we have a look at our peeps, Vanya would be the next. Where are you in terms of your belief in your ideology? The Arctic Path isn't doing great. We could begin a conversion ritual. We would work on Vanya. Expectations moderate. Dropping that. We do still want to improve that. I'll wait for the artwork to be installed, and we've got another artwork that isn't actually far away from being done. I'm going to wait for these 2 artworks to be installed before we go for that, just so we have the maximum chance of that working. But for now, it is the 14th of April, and things are quiet. Worryingly so. Okay, I spoke far too soon. A group of imps from Kavsko have arrived nearby. It looks like they want to use sappers to tunnel around your defenses. Okay, are they immediately attacking? I think sappers pretty much always do. That's a reasonable amount of enemies in one place. Okay. And we've got people kind of distributed all over the place. Eelstar was just heading down to do a little bit of work down there, but we are going to have to pull everyone back. Alright. Not sure if we're going to have that long to do it, but let's try and get everyone into combat gear who can be. Everyone needs to be drafted and undrafted. There we go. Now, let's have a quick gander. How many are down here? Just double check. That doesn't look like a very big raid, if I'm perfectly honest. Okay. So, we have got a total of 25 humans. The most advanced weapon they have is a single revolver. Other than that, it's all bows. It is all long range, though. It is all long range. They've got javelins. What kind of ammo are they fielding? Are they bringing flame arrows? Okay, so that kind of makes sense in a way. They've got EMP shells in their revolver. Alright, so a credible threat. But we've got a herd of Thrumbos on the map. Now, do I need to use it? That is a good question. I definitely need everyone to get back, but I don't think we're in a position where we desperately need that. Everyone needs to be colony bound now, so let's get everyone in. I want all the mechs to be in colony as well. Periapsis, I'm going to want you to activate the Militors. Let's get them out. Now, what kind of gear have they got? Let's have a quick snapshot of gear. Have they got any reasonable armor? They don't. Actually, no, one or two of them do. One or two of them do, but a lot of them have got Parkers, or at least one or two of them do. Alright, I don't think we need anything particularly high power. So with that, I'm going to let people get equipped as best they can. It should take a little bit of time for the imps to get past this section. Well, being that they are sappers, they'll probably just go straight through. It won't really be much of a detriment to them. But my hope is that we are going to be able to get back here and into the colony where it will be safe. The turrets will do their thing. And I know we're in the midst of reconstructing, but we can definitely use these as further defensive placements and can move around fairly freely. Shouldn't be a problem. So I shall bring it back in a few moments when the enemies are close enough for us to make a decision on whether I need to elicit the help of the Thrumbos. That's going to be the big one. See you in a few seconds. Okay, here they come, and our people are as equipped as they can be. The turrets are active. Periapsis has all of the Militors here. Let's go ahead and draft them all. I would like them to reload to buckshot, please and thank you. Now let's see how these turrets do. We've got a fair bit of firepower here that I'm hopeful will very, very deeply concern our enemies. Now, I could have some of the Militors head out as a force ready to just go and attack, but for now I think I'll just distribute them around these areas. So I'll have one probably grab on this side. Now we've got the decent range on these weapons. Let's move over there instead, see if we can't get a good sight on them. They're coming through on this side, so Rizel, you also move there if possible. That being said, maybe not. There we go. Let's just have them all line up where we're able to. You go there, and you go there. There we go. That should work. Perfect. And you can hang tight here. Now they have made their way through, but we've got a decent amount of firepower here. They are going to try and break through that wall, though. Actually, what we could have is the Militors literally just waiting there for them. Let's do that. They'll make it through fairly quickly. The Militors should be able to do quite quick work of them. Really? Are we not able to get sight on them there? That's deeply unsatisfying. Alright. Have I got anyone over here that doesn't have a shotgun? No, I was really expecting them to try and make it over this side. But that just doesn't seem to be what has happened, unfortunately. In that case, let's get you back here so you can help out. You pop in. We'll see what we're able to do. We might be able to get enough firepower that way. What I could do at this point is genuinely just go ahead. Well, could I have you target Thrumbo? Now, if we can do that before this breaks down. There we go. Thrumbo Revenge. Is it just one Thrumbo? It is just one Thrumbo, and that is going to cause enough damage. There we go. That's all I wanted you to do for now. We've got 2 Thrumbos active. Let's turn them both off and just have everyone in position. It looks like the attacker has stopped wailing on the wall, which is perfect. Let's have our Militors move into position around the other areas. There we go. These Thrumbos should easily be able to deal with that. Honestly, the imps are dead. They're already dead. There enough damage might get through, so let's have some of the walls being repaired. There's a lot going on out there right now. What we want to see is these Thrumbos really wailing on them. The Thrumbos are barely hurt. Well, that being said, actually, you've lost a kidney. Okay. Okay, I mean, I disliked the Thrumbos having to take this, but ultimately I knew that it might come down to that, so I can't say that I didn't know what was going to happen. There we go. The Thrumbos should, if we're lucky, not try to break through the walls and instead Right, the other Thrumbo's now angry as well. There's quite a lot of them of aggress. But it looks like our enemies are very quickly going to die here. Right, Thrumbo, Revenge, I think... Is that all of them? I don't think so, actually. In fact, no, it might be. Yeah, they're trying to flee. It doesn't matter, they won't get away. At this point, the Thrumbos are actually the priority for our units. If possible. Because otherwise, we're going to have to deal with an awful lot of mess out there. Now, if that was only opened up a little bit, that would have been perfect. But alas, it is not the case. The Thrumbos are going to be a very big problem moving forward. But there is not a great deal we can do about it. Let's move my Militors around. You can come along down here. Sit at that point. We'll have a decent firing range out here, but hopefully the Thrumbos are being lured all the way down there. This one is still chill. I'm not sure what's going to happen once they are that far down, but for the time being, this actually looks relatively safe. Whether we're going to go out and help, I really don't know. I honestly don't know about that one. But the Thrumbos are making their way through, and I'm going to say that was a successful engagement. There's a little bit of damage down here, and we're still firing on that Thrumbo, which is kind of amazing, really, when you think about it. I think that's it. Thrumbo's down. No, it's still there. Is it going to bleed out? This is the crazy thing. It's in no immediate danger. Look at the amount of bullets that have been applied to the Thrumbo, and still no immediate danger. Now, they are maddened, Manhunter. What we need to do is not make them any more angry. So, draft everyone, draw them back. I want that door locked. Forbid. And I also want to forbid this action. Let's not remove any walls. On that note, yeah, cancel these. We don't want to remove any point of access to the base right now. And instead, just want to let this problem fix itself. They should. I mean, we're not going to be getting any prisoners for this one. Unless they decide to just leave the map, which I would be A-okay with. But for now, I will let my turrets just blink at them. But largely speaking, what will happen is most likely they're just going to wander around outside. They can't see the door to get in, and they can't get a path to my turrets, so my turrets should be good at just attacking them. It'll be an extremely big war of attrition, but I'm okay with that. I'm assuming it's not going to be able to break through the door. It might do. No, it doesn't look like it's just going to wander around outside. Okay, well, the turrets will be enough to deal with the Thrumbos then. That's quite nice. I wish it was a little bit of a more clean engagement that I could get out there and grab things, but that isn't the world that we live in right now. So we're just going to have to make do with the one that we've got. Is this one active? Is it actually able? No, not. Oh, hollow point is absolutely not what we want on these now. Definitely armor piercing. Let's switch over to armor piercing. That's the only way we're going to get through these things. So hopefully we'll bring down some armor piercing relatively soon, and they'll be able to finish up the work. And maybe we'll get out of this with a couple of Thrumbos as well. That would not be a bad exchange. All right, Militors, I would like you to all switch to slugs. And I will have the Militors arranged out here, so they will attack whatever comes past. But everyone else, you're good. You are fine to go about your business. You're going to have to be set to not run away, though. So hostility, I'm going to have to set this to ignore for now, because every time you pass by one of the braziers, you'll get very upset about the idea of facing off against Thrumbo. But what may happen is the Thrumbo might well just go to sleep, lose their Manhunter status, and then we can get out there and continue our work. But for the time being, the outside is a little bit too hot for us, so we're just going to get on with whatever we can get on indoors. Okay, all of the Thrumbo are currently out of Manhunter. The reason for that is that many of them are wounded. This one is simply going to die from its infections if it doesn't get treated, but these two are down currently. They cannot crawl, these two are these three are active, so I am very strongly considering just telling my people to go out there and hunt. Now, my hope is that by telling them to hunt, whilst downed, these units are simply going to be able to be eliminated fairly quickly just by someone going out there and just finishing them off for all intents and purposes. This is a very risky move. I'm absolutely not certain that this will work. Nevertheless, who is up and nearest right now? Manu, let's not send our bestest medic. And Periapsis is way too important to go. Alright. Well, Aquatami as my second doctor, you're a little bit too important, but finish off, and finish off. It may be that you can do all this. If you can, then that is 3 Thrumbos. There is... Honestly, we were unloading entire clips of armor-piercing ammo and slugs into these things, and they were barely taking a dent. If you have a look over here, it's barely in any way wounded. Is that one back up and a bit about? Yes, that one's back up and about, so we no longer want to try and hunt that one. I'm not even sure. Actually, it's going to die on its own. It will die on its own, so that's not an issue. It's asleep. It's fine. There we go. Quite a few solid catches. Let's have a look at you. Will you survive? Yeah, you're in no immediate danger. You won't even hurt. Alright, let's have a look down here. 3 hours and 2... Yeah, there is no point. There's negative point for us to try and go out there and do any of that. Alright, that was about as good of an engagement as we could possibly hope for. So we're going to switch people back across to colony and such, and making sure that everyone is safe. Except you stay within the colony at all times. But that was not a bad engagement. We actually got quite a lot of wealth out of that, especially considering the Thrumbos. Now that is obviously has its own problems, but most of the gubbins that was dropped, we should be able to get to. I want to allow collection of pretty much everything around here, and we very much want to repair these areas as well. Let's get those all fixed back up, please, and thank you. There we go. Do I need to fix anything here? Yes, I most certainly do. We still need to break all of that down. But all things said and done, that wasn't a bad engagement. Thank you very much, Thrumbos. You were a great help. So much of a good help that we killed you for it. Yeah, you know what? I'm worrying a little bit about our reputation, like diplomatically. Probably something we're going to need to work on. Welcome back. It's the 15th of April, May. It's just coming up to 10 p.m. and we are almost finished sowing the entire field out here with dandelions. While it's nice and warm at the moment, this is a good time to give our growers something to do. It also lifts their mood. If they have a passion for any kind of work, then doing that work makes them inherently happy. But also, this is a good auxiliary food source for our animals, which are still starving in many cases. We're feeding them where we can, but not all of them can eat the food that we've got, so we're hoping that it's going to help out a little bit. They'll only eat the dandelions once they get to a certain growth stage, and it's not a very efficient way. It's much more efficient to give them hay grass after it's been harvested at full maturity. However, dandelions grow very, very quickly, so it is a method of getting some food into them that's a little bit better than just leaving the area fallow, from what I understand at the very least. But it is always going to be better to just go with hay grass. Now, as for the Thrumbos, we got a lot of meat from that, and that's going to help our colonists for a little while. And we have finished, well, I say finished, mostly finished quite a few of the rooms. We have a little wall to do over there, but other than that, we should be good in these rooms. And on that note, there is a roof collapse. That is going to keep happening, by the way. The insects are going to keep doing that to themselves, and it will occasionally make them very angry. But this hive will only ever grow so big. There is a certain point where this hive will grow not a single bit larger. And that is what we want to get to. That is very much what we want to get to. I would very much like it if we could get this finished before then, but isn't the most important thing in the universe. But eventually this is going to become a little bit of an issue for us. To the point that I am actually strongly considering blocking this off. We might want to do that sooner rather than later, but we'll see. We will see. We've got a granulin sprout. I'm not interested in getting granulin sprouts, but I will sell them, so I'll harvest it and store it in the colony's coffers for now. On that note, is there anyone even remotely close that we could call? No, there's not. Okay. We'll continue cooking food where we can, feeding it to the animals where we can. They should be able to eat enough, and people are generally quite happy to go outside. It's a rather beautiful thing to see dandelions growing naturally. As you can see, it tends to raise the beauty whilst outdoors, which is always very, very useful. And we are almost finished with getting the defenses over here set up, which is a big, big win for us. Now, hopefully, we're going to get the last bits done over here, and once we've actually pushed this wall down just a little bit, then we'll gain access to this area, and I can finally set up some proper production. I will probably put just a full field of hay grass. That's my goal in there. We'll keep this little field there, but that's not really a big focus for us. We've got corn, we've got rice. I mean, I could go for more food. We do actually have a fair number of people, but they can always eat the nutrient paste, and they will be eating the nutrient paste just as soon as we can get to the transhumanist mean. So I think hay grass for year-round growth for our animals would be good. Now, we can also go ahead, though. It's very expensive. Would that be in production, perhaps? Yeah, hydroponics bay. We could go ahead and place these down, and I see very little reason not to. These would be significantly more productive, but would hay grass really benefit from that? Let's have a quick look, shall we? So if I were to select this growth over here, if we have a look at dandelions, in terms of fertility sensitivity, it's 0%, so they really don't care. They'll grow pretty much anyway. That makes sense. They're dandelions. But hay grass, let's have a look at you. Fertility sensitivity, 60%. I mean, it's not terrible. Fertility requirement to 70. I believe that hydroponics, an artificial nutrient bath for growing plants. The nutrients pump must work continuously. The plants will die if cut. Each one of these pulls 70 watts. That's a decent amount of power to pull just for hay grass. Maybe at some later stage when we need that, if we're building under a mountain, sure. But it might not be a bad idea for our food crops, regardless. But it's definitely not what we're going to be going for right now. Right, with all of this getting built, as soon as these are ready, then I'm going to start tearing down this area. As you can see, I've already started laying that out. Ambrosia, let's have a look without it. Really, in our area. Very nice indeed. Well, in that case, no longer sowing. Don't sow. Only harvest. We'll collect the ambrosia sprouts. I wonder if the animals will collect the ambrosia sprouts too. We can do a leader speech at this point, which might not be a terrible idea, but I think I would rather save that for possibly combat command. That seems to be a far more useful ability overall, I would say. Right, we want to pull all of that back at this point. We're slowly building this out, and once we have all of that done, I'm going to build another turret, and then another 3 turrets in total, and that should give us a pretty solid defensive area to fight from. Wow, look at that. The world looks so different when it's bright like this. We've got a lot of boar over there that I could go and hunt. There is also a bear there that might want to hunt me, which is not something I want to tangle with specifically. Okay, well, we could go out here, maybe take out the bear and then get all of the boars. Definitely want the food, so sure, let's go ahead. I will give a hunt command for all of this. I'm fairly confident that my hunters will be able to take on a bear by themselves, but I guess it depends on who exactly does the hunting and if they are equipped with a shotgun or not. If they've got a Saiga, then that bear will die in fairly quick succession. It's not going to be much of a muchness really to deal with that one. Go ahead and haul in the mechanoid slag. I wouldn't mind breaking that down and getting whatever it is. There'll be some little bits and bobs, some gubbins for us to collect. But other than that, just going to continue expanding out until we can gain access to the new growth area and set that up. I was about to say that 4 Highs clearly has some sort of protection from the gods because they were wandering through the bug-infested area without any real issue. But no, that was absolutely not going to be the case, and the bugs decided to visit terrible vengeance upon them. They were a visitor who just had something to trade. They never got the chance to trade. Well, I guess that is just the way it goes. Right, though it looks like someone did make their way in. Well, on that case then, where is Rizel or... is either Rizel or Lazahir nearby? No, they're both going up there. Okay, I guess I'll wait for one of them to get back, and once they do... No, never mind, they're heading out. Wounded guest. Okay. You're gonna die. They managed to get a little bit further ahead. Oh man, the insects are using guerrilla tactics. They're luring in their enemies. They're wounding one, just leaving them there, mewling for aid, knowing that it's going to summon the others, and then they'll just be able to pounce on all of them and eat the whole lot. Those insects. When will the natives of this planet learn to respect their superior intellect? You fools. Okay, well, Uh-oh, that is really unfortunate. The following entities are being held in rooms that do not meet their minimum containment. Why did that just break? Exactly. We need that to be fixed right away. Like, really right away. Oh my lord, haul all of these in as a great hurry. An exotic goods trader is passing nearby. Do I have enough... I do have enough granite to reinforce this wall. Okay. As a massive emergency measure, we're going to use 45 granite as a huge emergency measure to try and get that wall built up. Let's just get that done as quickly as we can, please. We do not want the Gore Hulk to get out. Where is Eelstar? Eelstar, need this done as priority. You just go for that one. Ignore everything else. As long as I can re-establish this as a room, then the Gore Hulk won't try. Okay. There we go. Please, everyone, stop walking past. There we go. That should be okay. That was a little bit scary. But yeah, of all of the areas to reinforce, I guess that one is probably the most important one. Right, though that does mean that I probably no longer have enough granite to make this door, which is what I was going to use for the door. All right, we'll go with slate then. Though I do worry a little bit that we're not going to have enough slate for that task. Now, we did hunt all of the boar or the bear as well. Aquatami did it all by themselves. Just went out with their shotgun and got a good solid day's work done. I have set up a bunch of elk down here to... sorry, these are just deer. To be hunted. Looks like the bots have, for the most part, managed to move the majority of the corpses down. There's still one or two left, but nothing that they won't be able to get done fairly quickly, I should imagine. And as for our defensive area, it looks like that's more or less ready. I am extremely excited by that. Okay, so with that in place, I'm going to need to make sure that all of this is under the home zone. It is, so it should receive repairs. Well, given that, I could just set up the turrets over here as well. That wouldn't be too rough. We did find some underground steel, which would be very, very nice. We could just burrow into the wall here and lay down an auto extractor, though there is a reasonable chance we're going to have insect events. But one of the nice things about having a resident hive is that the insects will only propagate, spawn up to a certain number. After a certain point, it'll stop. Not for any kind of in-law reason, but I should imagine for game stability reasons. Much the same way that once there is a big enough fire, you're guaranteed rain. And the rain will put the fire out because it's tanking performance. A clever way of doing it, in my opinion. Right, we've got another small sculpture. Let's have a look at this one. Lonely Strength. On this work is a representation of a minor celebrity, Karen, moving to the right. The work is executed in a complex and realistic style. Strikingly, the subjects are in front of a village, or rather a villager. Okay, well, let's get that one in place as well. And once that one's there, then we can finally try this conversion ritual. Dewdrop, what's the matter at the moment? Minor pain, 8 with 8 without a table. Oh, the world is ending. How on earth did that happen? In a colony as advanced as this? Shocking, really. Why do terrible things happen to good people? Alright, we've got a lot of work to do. Just odds and sods here and there. We're making another flak jacket. Don't mind that at all. Though on that point, realistically, I should really have everyone back in their regular gear. So let's make sure that everyone pops into their civvies as soon as they get the opportunity to. Stop using up the limited durability on our very limited arms and armor. And instead, ideally, get some nicer, comfier clothes on, which will give them some sort of social boost. That's what I would hope at the very least. At this stage, all that really remains is to pull apart these tiles, and then we will have access down there, which will be all we need. I will... No, actually, I won't do that. Not until we've got more... Let me cancel that. Not until I've got more blocks and bricks ready so that we can move everything around as we need to. We are also going to want to continue... Ooh, actually, thinking about it, probably don't want to pull up those areas, now that I think about it. No, we want to replace these ones instead. That way, just to dissuade any enemies from trying to stack up on those walls, attacking the turrets inside. The little areas here, you notice there's a little spot there. We will have someone stood there shooting out. Much the same here, that will eventually be gone. Someone shooting there as well. So we'll have potential for quite a lot of firepower down on this side, ideally. Bioferrite harvesting has been researched. Marvelous. Now, we could go for electro harvesting, getting power out of our captives. But I think maybe we should instead go for psychophagy and onwards to chronophagy. Perform a psychic ritual which deadens a target's psychic sensitivity and temporarily boosts the ritual invoker's psychic sensitivity. The target will suffer brain damage as a side effect. Now, it's a temporary thing, so it's not really the goal here. I want chronophagy so we can become time vampires, because nothing has ever gone wrong with that. But to build the electro harvester, if we have a look at this now. So the bioferrite harvester. When placed near a holding platform, this device draws biomass from the held entity and converts it into bioferrite. The harvester creates more bioferrite than manual extraction. Larger entities generally produce more bioferrite, however, for most creatures, the process causes extreme discomfort, making the entity harder to contain. So we are going to have to be aware of that. The entity is going to get much, much more unhappy with this being hooked up in there. Nevertheless, I'm going to do it anyway. I do believe we've got a reasonable amount of containment strength. Yeah, we have quite a lot, and I don't think this entity needs an awful lot of containment strength. Let's have a look. Well, that's the holding platform itself. I want the entity. Nope. Entity. Can I get any information on that? No, apparently not. I need to click on the Go Hulk there. Now, there should be a containment strength required in here. Bioferrite. Oh. It's multiplier for bioferrite extracted recent. Oh, it's because we actively remove bioferrite ourselves. Knowledge gained from study. Minimum containment strength is 60. So depending on how much this adds, that might actually be a bit of a risk for us, but we're going to try anyway. Now, what I would really like to know is where the containment doors are. Maybe that is also a research. Sleep suppressor, bioferrite shaping, bliss lobotomy. Maybe something through here? I'm not entirely sure. We probably want to get to the disruption flares regardless, as this is going to give us the ability to see invisible entities and also to stun them where the need arises. So far, we've not really encountered anything like that, and we aren't likely to for a little while either, but it is something that we are going to want to keep in mind, that there will eventually come a time when there are entities who are invisible to the naked eye and will cause us quite a lot of problems if we don't have some means of stunning them by that time. That being said, we've got very powerful weapons, so it might be a very different engagement at this point. Got loads of meat in stockpile, so we should be good for a while. All right, how are the enemies done? Oh, that was a big drop there. That killed a lot of the insect in here, and a waste pack infestation. Really? Here again. All right. Where have we got people outside? No people outside right now. That is fantastic. Okay. Well, in that case, then I want all the mechs in the colony, all of our peeps in the colony also. Get inside, please. Chop, chop, chop. Is there anyone on the outside? Aquatami's heading in. All right. Periapsis. Actually going to need everyone to be drafted here, because there is a chance that they instantly aggro. And if they do, I want to try and be able to deal with them. Hopefully, no one gets too close, and this is going to be fine. But there is a reasonable chance that isn't going to be as easy for us. Okay, not too bad. We could just engage them. We'd get a bunch of insect meat out of it. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there, and I really don't want to have to struggle with having to walk around this. So yeah, I think we're going to have another big old fight here. The gun turrets are not in the best position for this, so let's go ahead and reinstall this one down here. There we go. And I would like you to reconnect. There we are. Could someone do that? Where is Eelstar? There you are. Let's undraft you, and I would like you to... It's outside your allowed area. Okay, let me just change that up a little bit. I would just like you to move that. Aquatami, though, let's get you... They are probably going to go for this door. So let me pop you in there. I could always put a sight hole through there so I could shoot out, I guess. Might not be a terrible idea, all things said and done. Or even something like that over here, now that I think about it. One there, just so that we could shoot out. But I wouldn't really want people to be able to shoot in, which is the big issue there. The Militors, we can have you drafted. Have you outside, standing guard right here. That would do. There we are, and Eelstar has that hooked up. Thank you very much, Eelstar. Right, now I want to put you back on colony only. And we draft you. That should connect. There we go. Alright, Eelstar, well, actually, given your weapon, maybe not. Let's switch you over to armor piercing and position you here. I'm going to want you on slugs. All of the Militors on slugs as well. We're going to want to be able to deal with the much more dangerous mega spiders. Do the same here. And position you there. Let's get you out. I don't have to worry about being shot back at, so it doesn't really matter if you stand directly in front. This should be fine. Slug here. There we go. And final one. Pop you there. There we are. Right. I would like you switching over to armor piercing, and you can be in the little nest there. As for you, we don't have any armor piercing here. Unfortunate. Right. Oh, well, you were already on armor. Oh, you already were on armor piercing. My bad. Right. Andrea. Oh, we were able to draft Andrea. Surprises me, actually. Manu, you can go about your business. And at this point, I say one of the bots should move down. Just within range. And attack. Did that kill? It only activated one. Really? I mean, okay. Let's maybe get right in there. If the bots can kill them one at a time, that's kind of crazy. Can you get right in there and they won't activate? Yeah, they don't seem to realize you're there. Okay. I guess we're going to be doing this one at a time then. I suppose it's just going to be good training for our peeps right now. That being said, I could just send out Periapsis just to trigger the whole hive, but why bother when I can do it like this? You know, slow and steady wins the race, as the saying goes. There we go, getting some stray shots now hitting the rest of the cocoons, which is activating them, getting them up into the fight, which is precisely what I want. You'll probably be killed fairly quickly. Yeah, no, this method works surprisingly well. Can we get a couple of shots over here? Don't get too close now. There we do. And another one. Go back. Gonna have a little bit of a crossfire that I don't really want to be a party of. Let's try and stray a little bit further aside. There we go. Alright, well, I'm just going to slowly whittle our way through all of these bugs, and I shall bring you back when I'm done. Well, that's very annoying. How dare you? Now I'm going to have to come out there and deal with it. That's very, very frustrating. It's just randomly attacking the monolith. Has it stopped randomly attacking the monolith now? Yes, but it did take a fair bit of damage, actually. The activity level is shot up as a consequence. That's not great. Right, try and keep the bots from being killed, but they're kind of all... Oh my lord, really? Well, that is exactly not what I wanted. The Dakota just went down to friendly fire, of all things. Then is the problem with crossfire. Okay, let's draw back. Took my eyes off the prize because of the monolith being attacked, but oh well. One mech to fix is certainly better than 4 mechs to fix. God damn it, this stupid turret! It's doing more damage to my boss than the insects are. Oh, that is deeply frustrating on so many levels. Eelstar, could you head on down and help out a little bit? Oh, now they're on the other side of you. Let's shimmy around this side. Hopefully we can get them isolated. There we go. Still got a couple more to pop, but honestly, this engagement did not go nearly as well as I had hoped. Doe-eyed Thrumbo is available. And we've got volcanic winter. Really? I just planted my field of dandelions. Oh, that's a great disappointment. Oh well. You're reloading the mini shotgun. You best get out of the way before the turrets shred you like they did your siblings. Go up. Get out of the way much more aggressively. There we are. Once all of this is done, we should be able to just go out and clean up the battlefield. Got one mega spider and a mega scarab left to eliminate, and then we're good. Oh my goodness. This, I mean, to be fair though, not one of our colonists has been in danger. Bots are being the best bots. They're doing what they were designed to do, and that is keeping the colonists safe. Here we are. Hopefully the colonists are mildly less ungrateful about it than Summer was. Would you like to reload and attack? Doesn't look like you've got any more of that. That's fine. Okay, no, you do. Fair enough. Let's get back over here then. And that is that for attacking the insects. We will then go out and hunt what's left. And hopefully we'll be able to get that done very, very quickly. Hunter lacks a suitable weapon. Who is starving? Wow. Rizel. Go eat. My lord. Right, okay. We're done. We're done. We're good, I think. Possibly. Everyone is now undrafted. You can head on back. You need to go recharge. We're going to have to rebuild 2 mechs. It's been a while before we've had to do that, which I will say is actually quite nice to know. But we're going to need all of these things hunted, including the raccoon that managed to get inside the walls. But I think at that point, we've actually had enough action for today. We're going to have to wrap this one up there. I have no idea how long this episode is going to be. Hopefully in editing it's not going to be too terrible, but we'll see. The poison down to the south is getting a little bit out of hand. The toxins are leaching into the soil with a quickness. I'm not sure what that's going to do to the anima tree. I think the anima tree might actually start to get sick from that. The harbinger trees, no idea. We will see. I might need to deal with that. The obelisk is currently at 69% activity. Not great. We most certainly need to fix that, and as quickly as we possibly can at that. But overall, I'm way happier with our defensive setup that we've got right now, and I'm looking forward to being able to dip our toes into transhumanism probably in the next episode, providing we can get enough steel, which I'm fairly certain we'll be able to, especially with the underground steel deposit that we have located. Absolutely not going to go and play with the bugs. That is death for whoever tries, but we have got other supplies available around the map that we're going to be able to dig into for the neural superchargers. But that is going to be it from me. So as always, thank you very much for joining me, and a big thank you to those of you who managed to make it to the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to your comments down below. But until next time, and as always, from me and everyone here at Marble Hearth, do take care.